Used car sales have started to fall after years of apparently endless rise. Black Book has released a new analysis showing that the subcompact car costs have dropped $3.68 over the course of the past week. Used car repossessions are up, wholesale prices are falling, and there is a buyer strike, all of which contribute to one of the quickest downtrends in history. Lenders are now advising potential automobile purchases to consider the possibility that they will soon be underwater on their loan. And so you might be wondering what is causing all of this and what effect it can have on you if you are interested in investing for a car. Well then, we are here to help. This is the Financial Bridge, and for today's video, we will be sharing to you what exactly is the current situation of the auto business. But before that, please don't hesitate to give this video a like and subscribe while you're at it. We won't waste a minute longer. And so, let's get started. So here's the lowdown. If you grasp this, the rest will fall into place. To begin, you've probably observed over the course of the last few years that the cost of automobiles has risen dramatically. Auto prices have been in the market in 2020, 2021, and 2022. They've gone up twice as much as housing costs, 4 times as much as contemporary art, and 80% more than the manufacturer's suggested retail price, which makes you wonder what the heck is going on. You need look no further than 3 key categories that are eventually coming to an end to understand why automobile prices have become the greatest performing assets. Plus, the initial run would be a small one. Among the many required parts for automobile assembly are chips. In order for the automobile to function, it relies on semiconductors like this, which power features as varied and unnoticed as the car's window sensors, ignition, and navigation. In fact, a modern car needs more than 1,000 of these chips just to function. In reality, however, only approximately 3% of the total chip supply is used by the automotive industry. The remainder is used by consumer electronics, which had record rises in 2020 and 2021, and thus received priority. A lack of chips and, by extension, vehicles was produced as a result of manufacturing delays, a lack of labor, and a problem in the supply chain. However, in July, Toyota reduced output by 50,000 automobiles. Second, up until recently, borrowing rates were quite low. Like the housing market, the auto industry saw a surge in demand as consumers took advantage of historically low interest rates and loan terms of up to 12 years, making cars much more affordable to buy. However, as a result of this influx of capital, the average monthly car payment rose to over $700, and 1 in 8 borrowers saw their payments rise to over $1,000. And finally, third, we have greed. We shouldn't be too surprised by this, since the shareholder should always come first in any firm. Nonetheless, in this scenario, automakers have concluded that they may increase profits by reducing output while maintaining the same level of demand. BMW has been quoted as saying, "The aim is to clearly stick with the way we manage supply to preserve our pricing power at the current level." In a recent article published by Kelley Blue Book, which explained that the manufacturers will deliberately undersupply demand, Mercedes-Benz is likewise moving in this direction, but at a more leisurely pace, and is shifting gears to the upper luxury end, which means they will likely rebrand the same thing to sound fancier so that they can charge more. Here's what you need to know about the market's potential future as a result of this. Due to the rising number of repossessed vehicles, the market's current appearance is likely to change drastically over the next few months. Normally, such a shift would be explained by the fact that the economy is recovering from historically low levels, thanks to loan forbearance, making any subsequent growth appear exponential. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has gone on record as saying that delinquency rates for loans created in 2021 and 2022 are rising. Banks are warning that many of their borrowers may become underwater or owe more on their automobile than it is worth as prices continue to plummet. Compared to the loans originated in prior years, Wells Fargo noted that an increase in write-offs for the period was due in part of the increased loss rates for loans that originated late in the prior year. The Mishtak blog also linked to a tweet that said people were giving up on their cars when they couldn't afford the payments. Quite the contrary is true in practice. Instead, the average down payment is only 11.7%, and the average loan term is 72 months, with a vehicle being held for 71.4 months. However, as we all know, automobile prices rarely rise as dramatically as they have recently, and they're currently declining. KPMG anticipates a 30% decrease in used car prices as more supply enters the market, while Ally Financial predicts a 20% drop over the next 12 months. And this poses the ultimate difficulty with the auto finance at the top of the market from which values are beginning to decline. So, you borrowed $40,000 to buy a car that's now only worth $25,000, and you were struggling to make the $7,000 monthly payment on the loan. The automobile won't sell for cash because you don't have 15 grand lying around, and you can refinance it because interest rates are higher now than they were a year ago. Let's examine the few companies that really stand out to see how this will affect the overall market, and CarMax is the first of this. CarMax's business model is considered to be somewhat secure because it allows customers to bring in virtually any vehicle, receive an instant offer good for up to 7 days, and if accepted, sell the vehicle for a profit to another customer. However, recently their stock has dropped by 60%, indicating difficulties for the industry as a whole. In addition, they made it crystal obvious that their clients are being subjected to a triple whammy of price increases. They have been moving products from auction to retail in search of a higher price, which has only led to a glut of products and additional price cuts. Now we arrive in Carvana. Throughout the United States, they had 24 automobile vending machines where customers could come up, insert a coin, and drive away in a used car. However, Carvana has lost $3,255 on average every vehicle sold, and the value of its stock has dropped by more than 95% in the past 12 months. Indeed, they have only ever generated a profit once in 2021, when the value of old automobiles spiked. Furthermore, they've been losing money, and with falling automobile prices, that's just going to become worse. When it comes to the present, the first major change is the introduction of tougher credit standards. Auto loan origination volumes reportedly dropped by 40% after Wells Fargo tightened underwriting standards upon seeing indicators of applicants falling behind. Second, they claim to have slowed down loan production in light of the current price decline. Because of this, we now reach second most affordable option, identical to the vehicles that accompanied the astronomical rise and then collapse of at stay-at-home stock prices. The same is happening with car prices, which spike high before starting to drop. Price drops have slowed to an estimated 2% to 4% every month, bringing the current total at about 20% below the all-time high. Finally, the stock prices of banks and automakers are expected to fall along with the entire market if lenders suffer significant losses. On the bright side though, some experts have said that this is not the end of the world and that auto prices will soon return to normal. The decrease in personal savings to its lowest level in a decade, however, raises questions about the possibility of an overcorrection before things return to normal. For me then, the answer is a straightforward one. Sell your expensive automobile and put the money toward a more reasonable model, or talk to your bank about flexible repayment plans if you're afraid about losing your job and falling behind on your car payments. The other piece of good news is that most auto loans have a fixed interest rate, so even if the buyer owes more than on the car than the car is worth, the remedy is to simply drive the car longer than intended. Sure, we think car costs will keep falling, but in the meanwhile, keep an eye out for manufacturers that may slow production to prevent a precipitous drop in inventories. Moreover, we would anticipate more monitoring to be given to vehicle loans, which are generally very poorly regulated, and where, unlike the residences, it is very easy to pay more than what the car is worth without any evaluation at all. This would cause sellers to demand higher income and credit scores from potential buyers, as well as proof that the vehicle is worth the asking price. We know you are still itching to learn more about this one, but this concludes our video for today. If you have any thoughts about this one, then feel free to share them in the comment section below, and we'd be more than glad to join in the discussion. But besides that, we thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to give this video a like and subscribe, and don't hesitate to click the bell button as well to see more of our personal investment and financing uploads. Thanks again for watching. This is The Financial Bridge, and we'll see you on our next video.